How are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing wonderfully, thank you. I just got to watch Black Crab yesterday, and it was both very intense and heartbreaking from like the very first scene. When speaking with Noomi, she had just said that originally the character was male in the novel that it's based on. So, what was the process of creating Caroline like for you and working with Noomi to really develop that character?
Um, well, from the start, I think when we started talking about the book and the script and the film, the book is written 20 years ago. Um, I think society looked slightly different then, and obviously we moved on in many ways. So having a female lead just felt normal, it just felt right for it. I thought it was, for me, it was quite important to not feel like a gung-ho military style film. So we wanted more humanity, I suppose, in there in a way. So that was a good way to move away from everything that you've seen before. And then, I had a meeting with Noomi maybe 5-6 years ago when we started first talking about this film. And she really liked it and came on board. And from that point on, the character kind of merged with her and it just became her. And so a lot of her traits became Ed's traits. And they became quite inseparable. It just had to be her. So for sure, the role was totally written for her, and then in the book, obviously, there is no daughter. That doesn't really exist. But we just wanted to give her a motivation that was outside of any mission or any, it wasn't about that. It's the film, for me, at least, it's all about what you're willing to do to get what you want or to survive or make your loved ones survive. What are you willing to sacrifice for your freedom or for survival? I think that's the bottom theme of it, and it was just finding the themes to lift that up.
Absolutely. Now, I believe this is your directorial debut of a feature film, right?
Yeah.
This is your first time.
Yeah.
What was that process like? How different was that for you? What obstacles did you overcome?
Well, I think I've shot a lot of commercials and music videos and short films and stuff, but so on the surface, it's more or less the same. I mean, it works the same way practically on set. It's the same, but I think the big difference is, first of all, you have a narrative that you always have to follow, and that dictates how the camera works and what follows what, and it's just over so much longer time. So it's a marathon. It's not like it's not a sprint race where you can just go, and it takes a long time to finish it. I mean, just practically, it's 2-3 years of work.
Oh, wow.
But
Yeah.
I worked much longer on this because it was such a long time coming before that. So that's a huge difference. And then I haven't necessarily really worked with actors before. I worked with actors, but very simplified way or form, So that was also quite daunting in a way, but I think I was blessed with an immensely talented cast for this. So grateful and humbled to have this array of actors on my film, and Noomi, obviously, with all her experience and enthusiasm and energy, also a huge help to kind of bring it to life. So I was in good hands.
That's wonderful. Speaking of the very talented cast, of course, Noomi's character, like her role is very physically intensive, but in general, right, the conditions, it's very cold. There's a lot of action scenes. Everyone's ice skating and shooting. How do you prepare your cast for that process? And then how do you yourself approach those kinds of action scenes?
I think for the cast, we had to train quite a lot. Obviously, there was a lot of skating training to do, and I think as with most things, you kind of tend to simplify in your mind how it can't be that hard, you know. But obviously, so they kind of learn how to skate, and then you put all the gear on them and a gun and night and wind, and it just changed just every layer you put back in, you made it harder, you know, and going and shooting, and also the conditions we shot in, which was cold and windy and dark and night and wet and all the misery of it. So it was complicated, you know.
I bet.
But for me, for the action sequences and how we prepared for it, I think I was quite aware that when you're on skates, you travel really fast, you know. So you never really stuck in one little place. You can skate 30 kilometers an hour, you know, it goes fast, 30, 40 kilometers an hour. So you need quite huge expanses to shoot on, which was obviously a challenge to just get that amount of room to shoot. And then for me, for the action, I mean, I'm not a huge action fan. I think it can be exciting, but I wanted to keep it really short. And I think in reality, they tend to be fast. It goes very, very quickly. When something happens, it just happens and then it's over. And that was kind of the approach to all the action scenes, because we didn't want these soldiers to be some elite squad. We wanted them to be real people. So they would they're not perfect shots. They're not great marksmen. They're not just superhumans. They are just trying to survive. So when it happened, it needed to be fast, and then it's over. And everything is kind of acted out of panic. So we try to keep the action sequences pretty swift in a way.
I think that adds to the tension for sure, because it feels like it could really be happening to them.
Yeah.
Finally, now that you have mastered this kind of film, is there any other genre you'd like to tackle next, or any other kind of film you'd like to dive into?
I mean, I really like genre films. I think stepping even further into science fiction would be fun. And I have a weak spot for horror.
Well, I look forward
let's see.
to one or both of those from you. Thank
horror,
you so
science
much.
fiction. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a great movie. Have a great day.